would love for you to take me just way back and tell me originally what was it that inspired your show, your award-winning show, your Golden Globe award-winning show. Was it because I believe it was within alignment of, your mom's retirement?
Yeah, it was. It was along with my mom's retirement. She was a teacher. I was kind of with her while she was packing up her room, and it just hit me. I was like, this is a show. It's a world I know so well, and it is a show. I see the engine, because I think every good sitcom needs an engine. Like, what are you coming back to every week? What are you coming back for? And I wanted to make a really good comedy that people could watch together. That was something I was lacking in the home with my family. There just felt like there hadn't been a new comedy made where I could sit and watch it with my parents and my nieces and nephews. And so I was also motivated by that to just create a comedy that a multi-generational household could enjoy.
You definitely have set the bar extremely high for yourself in the entire world and Hollywood in general. Quinta, you know what? When it comes to inspiration, in what ways do you, strive to basically inspire the generation coming behind you?
Well, I just try to do my best work and stand on my word, stand by myself, be a good leader. But I try not to think too much about trying to inspire people, because then I think that's putting too much weight on your shoulders. I just think about doing the very best job I can and trying to be a kind, good human, because I think that has more impact than trying to inspire necessarily.
How are you feeling about this award season? Because this past award season,
Yeah.
you literally blew the engine away. So how optimistic are you about this season?
We'll see. You know what I mean? Like, our categories are stacked. We'll see what happens, and I'm like very happy to see like Hacks back in the race. You know what I mean? Like, there's shows I enjoy that are like in the race. Like Only Murders. I love Only Murders. I mean, they have like a murders row of like incredible stars on that show, and so I would be very happy to once again be nominated. I think like winning is great, but there are so many TV shows in the air. To be nominated really is like a rarity that I'm still very proud of. So yeah.
Before I wrap things up with you, there is something significant about you and the relationship that you had with your sixth grade teacher. Is there any context that you can share with me today about, back in the day?
She just was fantastic. The show was definitely inspired by my mom, but when it came time to name the school, I really wanted to honor her because she was the person that kind of pushed me out of my shell. I had been in school with my mom from kindergarten to fifth grade, and when I had to go to a new school, it was like shocking. I was in an entirely new environment, and she really pushed me out of my shell, helped me build so much confidence. So I just wanted to, honor her with that, And now she's great. People know who she is now, and she's exactly the kind of person who should be doing, speaking to younger teachers, helping them navigate. So that's what she's doing now, and it's incredible. And I'm happy that someone like her is getting to do that work.
Before I let you go, season 4, is it true that you guys will be pulling away from celebrity cameos?
I think so. I mean, I think they're harder to pull off than you think. Like, people's schedules are crazy. And even this last season, we weren't focused on celebrity cameos. They all kind of happened organically. And so this season, I think with a normal amount of episodes, we'll be in the school more. I mean, and we'll see what happens. If something is organic, I don't really push it away. But, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
So, Sheryl, you're one that I have absolutely been waiting to interview. I've seen you on so many red carpets this past award season, so I'm beyond honored. And you look fabulous, of course. Sheryl, let me start by asking you, is it true that you do not read the script before entering the table reads? You have to give me the scoop on that. Why not?
It's for really good reasons. The first one is I see myself as the audience. So I want to react to the script the way I think maybe the audience is going to react. I want it to be genuine. And also, I'm always working on my skill of, it's called a cold read. A cold read is not seeing the script at all and being able to still deliver the performance. So I'm always trying to hone my craft in different ways. So it's twofold for me. That's why I do it.
Of course you have the reason. You're the Sheryl Lee Ralph. And I love the fact that you mentioned honing your skills, because that's going to lead me to ask, when it comes to prepping for these iconic speeches that you just absolutely blow the entire world away with, starting from your groundbreaking Emmy Award-winning speech, the commencement address, your TED Talk, the list goes on and on and on. How do you prep when it comes to this? Because your speeches come from the heart. They are coming from the guts. So how can you prep for such a thing?
I have to honestly tell you, I don't prep. Like you just said, when it's time for me to use my voice, I speak from the heart. I talk from my experience. I tell you how I feel. And I share with my listening audience the best of me. That is all I know how to do. I don't do, a lot of people write it all down. I don't write it all down. I carry it in my heart. I carry it in my spirit. It's in my being.
Speaking of your being, I have to know what keeps you grounded. What keeps you grounded as a woman? What keeps you grounded as an award-winning actress? What keeps you grounded as a wife, a mother, somewhat a motivational speaker in this industry and in life in general?
I have been loved. I have been loved deeply, and I have been loved unconditionally. And because of that love, knowing what that love truly feels like, it is who I am, it is what I am, and I am grounded by love. I am grounded by my family. It is who and what I am.
Key to everything, right?
It is so much the key to everything. I always have to tell people, the greatest love of all is the love that you have for yourself. You have to truly love you. If you can't love you, can't do it for anybody else. You have no water in your vessel to share. You have no oil in your vessel to light the lamp of yours and others.
Speaking of the love, the light, the lamp, you work with your beautiful daughter. What is that like for you? Like, do you guys bump heads? Do you just effortlessly mesh very well together when it comes to her styling you? Like, what does that journey look like? I couldn't to have an opportunity to work with your child. That's more than a notion, because I too am a mother, so I couldn't imagine.
Listen, I love my children, and working with my daughter has been a great gift for me, because I have actually invested in that child, and the payoff for me has been great. She is my stylist. She understands me, she knows me, and we work well together. Now, we do argue about lipstick, because, you do see that I have on a red lip tonight. I have always loved red lip, and my daughter is like, let us go natural. Let us be young. Let's be nude and in the moment. And I'm like, anybody got time for that? I want my red lip. But guess what? She gave in tonight. She said, yes, Mom, the red lip and the Stella McCartney leopard. Yeah, it works.
I love it. And before I let you go, what are you absolutely unapologetic about in this life?
Loving myself. Loving myself. Being kind to myself. Respecting myself. Lifting up myself. Because the better I'm able to do all of those things for myself is the better I'm able to do it for everybody else. And I am grateful. Gratitude is my attitude. And God is good.
Thank you so much, Sheryl. Thank you. You are just so dapper. I have seen you on so many. Won't stop, can't stop. Listen. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm very humbled with that. Come compliment coming from you. So listen, Tyler, you got started at a young age in Hollywood. I'm talking about grade school years. Who was that individual, or who were those individuals who helped to like mold and shape you and coach you along the way to get to where you are now?
It was it's usually a few people along the way. It's never just one person. Reggie Hudlin shot the Everybody Hates Chris pilot, and he was the first elite director I had worked with that truly treated me like an artist and like an adult in a lot of ways, and has been kind of in the background of my career and my life since then. Tashina Arnold was another huge one who actively made sure I got really good at this comedy thing, if this is what I really wanted to do. Thankfully, I've been able to have really great relationships with a lot of people over the course of my career, and they've all like really embraced and supported me whenever I needed that support. And that's what I think, now I reflect on is the community, particularly Black Hollywood, really embraced me from a young age and helped me out.
I love to hear that. And if I'm not mistaken, you are a Libra.
Yes,
You're not the only one on the show that's a Libra. Janelle is a Libra. And guess who else a Libra? You? That would be me, October 17th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you right there in the middle.
Yes. I'm a true Libra to the heart. So I want to tie that into your role as Gregory.
Yeah.
What Libra trait do you feel you bring to your character in this series?
Gregory, like myself, needs balance. If there isn't balance, it sets him off. In the same way with me, that was one of those things that I find very interesting with Janelle's character, because Ava's so chaotic and she plays it so well, but as a Libra, it doesn't sit right in your skin. You know what I'm saying? So that's the number one thing that the way he unravels when there's a lack of balance is very much so a Libra trait of mine.
How would you say your character has continued to evolve, episode by episode, season over season?
What's nice about the first few seasons is I feel like we're watching Gregory come into his manhood, right? He's in his late 20s, but he's still on that kind of uneven ground. By the end of season 3, you see him assert himself and go after what he wants and become more comfortable in the job that he's in. That, to me, development-wise, is something I've always wanted to play. I wanted to always play a young man becoming the man that he needs to be. And that journey up until this point has been beautiful, and I can't wait to continue it going down the road.
Before I let you go, Tyler, you don't like chocolate.
Huh?
You don't like chocolate.
Oh, I know.
How is that possible? In what world is this possible?
Even as a child, I didn't like it. I'm like a sour candy. I want it to be like, the fraudulent candies that feel like they're not real at all. That's my vibe. Like a Swedish Fish, an apple ring, a peach ring. And as I got older, I don't like it any more than I did as a child. I'm sorry. I want to apologize to you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Thank you. You are a Libra.
I am.
Tyler is a Libra. And I am a Libra.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. If you know, you know. Janelle, which one of your Libra traits do you feel like you pull into your character? I know.
We're such a Libra, confidence, obsession with beauty and clothing, the hustle, low-key a peacemaker. She seemed like a troublemaker, but low-key a peacemaker. She just wants things to flow, And yeah.
And the flirting.
Oh, well, how could I forget? Definitely, yes.
Let me pivot back to the clothes.
Just because. That's what we do. That's it.
Janelle, I want to pivot back to the dressing and the clothing, because if I'm not mistaken, you play a role in picking out your looks. Now, are you picking out all of your looks or some of your looks?
No, pretty much. Unless it's a specific occasion, like the Halloween episode, that costume was built specifically for me, because they wasn't no size, no Storms costumes in my size. But usually what happens, because just like any woman, the body, they fluctuate. One day you have a sandwich and things just change, and so usually I get a whole rack of clothing, and it's so exciting. I get a rack of clothing, I get a rack of accessories, and I get to dress however I feel that day. So that's amazing. Yeah.
Are you dressing according to the episode that you're filming, or just what you're feeling?
Both. The episode, Ava does a lot of strenuous stuff. I'm always running. I'm always walking. I'm in heels the whole time. And sometimes dancing to back that ass up, you know what I mean? It's whatever. So I have to not only dress to how I'm feeling, but what's going on in the episode. And so, yeah, and I'm so glad that they trust me with that and I'm allowed to do that. I'm a Libra. Come on, I know what I'm doing.
I really know what I'm doing.
Yes.
Janelle, so talk to me about what the transition has been like coming from stand-up comedy to this particular series, you know, and also playing a role as Ava as a principal. Like, what has that transition been like for you?
It has been, well, so now we're going into season 4. I am finally, thank you so much. I am finally, I don't want to say comfortable because I've been comfortable in the role, but I am finally like settling into this like new job basically. And stand-up is kind of very personal, and now I am performing someone else's work. So that was like a transition for me, and to just try to bring someone else's vision to life and also work with an ensemble. And yeah, stand-up is such a solitary gig, and now but it's a good thing. I have people to fall back on and make me elevate. And so it's been a great learning experience.
And before I let you go, obviously we're here for FYC Emmy season. So talk to me about the importance of not only being recognized for your work, but also being awarded for your work and how important and significant that is to you as an individual.
I will say it is an honor, of course, to be recognized. I have won awards, but that has never been my ministry to worry about awards and stuff. My ministry, like many Libras, is money. And so as long money and love, as long as I have those two things, the awards are like icing on top. Like, I don't let that stress me out. I know that comedy is a difficult category to be acknowledged for. A lot of people think it's easy, and so the fact that I've been nominated and awarded at all is inspiring to myself. I'm like, yeah, I did it. So, and yeah, it's not something I worry about. It's if it happens, that's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Janelle.
Good to see you again.
See you too. I see you on the next. Listen, I see you, Chris.
Fishing for a compliment, but I was gonna give it to you anyways.
Oh, you are so kind. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I want to start here.
Yeah.
Apparently, Lisa Ann Walters is a phenomenal cook, according to your words. What is the absolute best meal that you have ever had from her?
I feel like this is gonna get me in so much trouble with my big Italian family back home, but Lisa's an amazing cook, and like many Italian moms, she's just incredibly generous. I often go to her house to get ready before some of these events, and there is without fail a spread and, you know, just a good warm vibe. Yeah, she's an amazing cook.
I want to take it back to your Critic Choice Award days and that moment that you received your nomination. What went through your body? Like, where were you when you heard of the nomination? And furthermore, you were in the category with the iconic Henry Winkler. What in the world did that feel like for you?
It felt very similar to a panic attack. No, it felt amazing. You know, we make this show very, very quickly, and so we kind of make it in a bubble. You know, it's really amazing to feel all of the love that we're getting, and every actor, you know, can tell you that they don't care about what other people say about what they're doing, but we do, you know. Everybody wants to know that what they're putting down is getting picked up by somebody, and you know, I am surrounded at this point, both professionally and personally, with unbelievable people, and I think if I were not, I maybe would have taken that day, that news, and just sort of ran with it. But I am humbled every day by just the existence that is the set of Abbott Elementary. And so it was a great feeling, but yeah, I've got a lot of great feelings going on.
So my next question is more or less a twofold question. Working so closely with Quinta, does she typically stay on track and within script when you guys are like filming on set, or does she switch things up? And lastly, where would you like to see your character go in season 4?
That's a really good question. It's actually a beauty to behold, like watching her deal in those moments with how to make the show. She is simultaneously wearing so many hats, and not only is she a brilliant actor, she is kind of editing the show in her mind as we're filming it. And so yeah, there's often like tweaks and new jokes coming in. She has really created an air of improvisation and collaboration, and so I think she trusts and relies on all of us to kind of push the joke as far as it can go. And in terms of next year, you know, I feel like it's a similar answer, and that like I've learned a long time ago and felt very confident in Quinta and our producers and our writers' abilities that like I never feel like I'm on set and I need to punch up a joke. I'm very excited about where they want to go with Jacob in the 4th season, and if it's anything like what they've done with the last 3 seasons, it'll be entirely unexpected. So.
And I lied to you. One last question. I know that you like a good party. Tell me what is the most memorable party that you received an invite for here in Hollywood that you will never forget?
I don't know. This is kind of like picking your favorite kid. There's been a few of them now. You know, we like to party, as I said. You know, this cast is like we love to turn a look. We make the show very quickly, and so we're cranking out an episode a week. And so when somebody invites us to a party, we will usually stay until it's over.
Thank you so much for chatting with me. Thank you. I'm doing good.
I love your green.
Thank you so much, and I love your white. Every time I see you, you're looking fabulous.
Thank you.
Honey.
I am a hard-working stylist.
I love it. So, Lisa, I want to start by asking you about your friendship and a dynamic of your relationship, specifically with Sheryl Lee Ralph. Because if I'm not mistaken, you say that is just like such a sincere, strong, special bond that you two ladies have. Like, where does that steer from, and what is so special about your friendship with her?
Well, I mean, you probably have people like this at work or in your life or maybe from school that the minute you sat down next to them and you started the first conversation, you thought, okay, this person's going to be in my life probably forever, you know, unless something takes me to another country, and even then. And I think it was like that with Sheryl and I. We had met briefly once before at an event, charity event, but when we sat down next to each other to talk, setting up the scene, the first scene in the teacher's lounge, within about 15 minutes, just like I knew with my girlfriend Elaine Hendricks, when I met at on the Parent Trap, day one, I said with Sheryl, this is going to be a lifer friend. We just shared so many things in common, being single moms, raising kids in LA, where to go to get the, right, but exactly, it's like, you know, it is not easy, and nor is it cheap. So being able to afford living here, remember, we were shooting the pilot. It wasn't like it was a big hit or anything. We were just talking about how to survive and things we'd gone through with our kids and things we had gone through with our men. And, you know, she's very different from me. I think I'm a little more raw. I'm not rough, but I mean, I'm very educated, just as Sheryl is, and we both had that in common. But she's just more elegant. She's a lot more outwardly elegant. But I think I get a version of Sheryl that a lot of people don't get. It really is. Yes, no, she is who she is to most of the world, and they love that about her. She is inspiring people. She helps people just by being. But certainly when she speaks, she helps people. And sometimes I'll be on the phone with her, and it'll be, you know, week 3 of nonstop events, and I'll say, you tired, honey? She said, oh, so tired. And I said, I know, because it's exhausting holding the rest of the world up. And so, listen, we do for each other, and she has certainly done for me. She has made me, this is what she told me. I was going to forget, and then you helped remind me, so thank you. She said, I want you to wake up every day and say, everything goes my way. Everything goes my way. And I thought that's a wonderful mantra. That's not exactly a prayer, because I sometimes feel guilty. Am I praying to God for wins? You know, I pray for health for the world. I pray for peace, all of those things. But for the things that are specific to me, to just say everything goes my way and believe it, look, she is the real deal.
You are too. So let me ask you about working so closely with Quinta, because the both of you share, something in common. Both of your mothers were teachers.
Yes.
Do you bring any of that out in your character role, Margaret? Like, does your mom being a teacher, help to pull some of those, memories out in your role?
100%. Listen, the stories that Quinta has culled together from her true experience, not just as a teacher, because there are all kinds of teachers. There's another story to be told about an elite private school. This is not that story. So her reality and her truth, and the fact that the network and the studio supported her telling this story in a real way, we are all the better for it, because it's relatable across the board. You don't have to be from Philadelphia, nor from a challenged public school district to recognize the truths of what's going on with, how we raise children at all in society today. So she's got a lot of really great stories that I don't have to work that hard to access. My mother happened to be a public school teacher in D.C., so what she was facing was very similar to what Melissa Schmente faces at Abbott Elementary. It's about guarding resources. It's about fighting for them, literally physically fighting for them if you have to, and being an absolute beast in protecting and promoting your students. And I think Melissa, who is not a mother, and it's so second nature to me to be a mother. I became a mom right after I graduated college. So to me, those children are her children. And so she would fight anything to protect those kids.
Before I let you go, Lisa, what is the deal with you and sushi? Because
I don't like it?
Yes. Like, what is it? Because you're also a phenomenal cook. And I heard that from Chris and a couple of other sources. But, what's the deal with sushi?
I know, God, what's wrong with me? I don't know. I do have an educated palate. I mean,
you know how to make sushi?
I do not know, but I've watched someone make sushi. It looks like fun. It's almost like working with Play-Doh. But the reason I don't like it is I don't like fishy fish. I never have. Listen, my father was French, my mother's Italian. I grew up in Europe half the time I was coming up. Yeah, so I was eating escargot when I was 6 years old. Now, honey, I didn't know it was that same thing I see crawling in the garden, because if I had, I probably would not have put it in my mouth. You could just give me the garlic butter, I'd be fine with that. I'm good. But no, I just don't like stuff I don't like, and I don't feel the need to get all bougie about it and act like I like it. Okay?
All about authenticity.
Give me the cake. Just cake. Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Darling.
I'll see you on the next one.
Okay.
William, so I definitely want to start by asking you, after you say 4 decades, Abbott Elementary is yet that project which has willed in the absolute most success for you.
Yes.
In 40 years, William, give me a little bit of context around that.
40 years, like I said, it's not a linear journey. A lot of roadblocks, a lot of turnarounds, a lot of no's. But each no got me to a yes, and each no got me to Abbott, I've had some good recurs, on shows that I thought I might, it feels like a regular. But this one did it for me. And as I tell young actors, or, even when I was teaching class, the key to this is not to quit. Work on your craft, don't quit, and just do the work.
What is it that really kept you locked in and pushing forward? Because you are, if I'm not mistaken, 72, 73 years old.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for quite some time. Yes, listen, yes, I do, Mr. Williams. And you also feel like you're just getting started,
Yes.
to a certain extent. So, what does that feel like for you?
Once again, as I said a minute ago, the kids did not to quit. I had a goal. I had a passion for this. It was. And plus, as Richard Pryor used to say, I couldn't do nothing else. I didn't know how to do nothing else, But it's about the passion that I had for it. I knew this is what I wanted to do, and there was no way that I was going to give up. There's no way, And I feel like even before Abbott, God blessed me with a lot of work. I was blessed with work, but Abbott has been the greatest part of the journey. It's not the destination, please God. it's just a great part of the journey. And I wish that everyone has an opportunity like this. And the only way that they can do this by not quitting. Yeah.
And talk to me really quick about working so closely with Quinta. What is it that you feel like Quinta brought to television, to the big screen, to Hollywood that was missing?
The number one thing I think she's brought is her heart. She's an amazing human being, a great boss. She wants to make sure that we all, as part of the team, are comfortable, and that I miss them when I'm not around them, and that's because she's assembled a cast of just stellar individuals, good people, and just amazing actors. When I'm at home watching it on the screen, I'm like, oh my God, look at what they're doing. It's magic. Yeah, it's crazy. She's caught lightning in a bottle, and I love her. I love her dearly.
And William, before I let you go, one more question. I want to take this back a couple of years. Okay. That moment that you were told that you should go back to being a telemarketer, whoever that individual was that said that, what do you want to say to them today?
I want to thank them. I really do want to thank them, because I wouldn't be here if they hadn't done that, because it made me determined. I got into my craft, and you know how we used to do when we were kids. I just say, na 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 na. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay.